But while the police were scrambling for leads in California and searching for Curtis's killer, another violent act was about to unfold 3,000 miles away in Vermont. January 20th, 2025 started out like any other day for David Christopher Miland, a 44-year-old U.S. Border Patrol agent who was working near the U.S.-Canada border in northern Vermont. Now, he went by Chris for short, and Chris was a veteran of both the Air Force and his current Border Patrol job. He had once even worked security at the Pentagon during 9/11, and he had spent the last decade of his life patrolling the northern U.S.-Canada border. His friends and coworkers all described him as humble, dedicated, just extremely kind. And I know a lot of people have this idea probably of what it's like working Border Patrol and how it probably is super intense all the time. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure it can be. But most of the days, especially at this northern border, were essentially pretty uneventful and pretty peaceful. Agents would spend most of their time just checking IDs, responding to alerts, monitoring crossing points. Violence was very, very rare, not the norm. But January 20th, that was different. Because that day, Chris pulled over a Toyota Prius on Interstate 91 in a town just about a half hour south of the Canadian border in Vermont. And it was supposed to be just a standard stop. Apparently, authorities had reason to believe that one of the passengers in the car might have an expired visa, which kind of begs the question, okay, well, who was in the car? Why was that an issue? Well, inside the Prius that day was 21-year-old Teresa Youngblood. She's from Washington State, and she also had a friend with her named Felix Bauchold, a German citizen who now identified as a woman and used the name Oilia. So both Teresa and Oilia were already on federal law enforcement's radar because just a few days earlier, a hotel employee in Vermont had reported seeing the pair dressed in full tactical gear. Obviously not something that you normally see every day. And I'm talking about black clothing, body armor, visible firearms. They were also apparently carrying night vision equipment, a ballistic helmet, dozens of rounds of hollow point ammo. I mean, just something that is definitely scary. And let me just talk about Teresa for a second here, because it turns out, just like Daniel, Teresa was actually a missing person. According to her parents anyway, who had reported her missing back in May of 2024. They told the police that their daughter had cut off all contact, that she stopped talking to her friends, changed her number, and that they were afraid that she was in a very controlling relationship. And on the morning of January 20th, Oilia was seen at a local Walmart buying aluminum foil and then wrapping objects with it while making a phone call. Talk about paranoia, right? Anytime somebody's wrapping windows or devices or objects with aluminum foil, it's giving paranoid. It's giving you're hiding something, right? So they were already on people's radar for their bizarre behavior and certain interactions along their travel. So later that day at the Border Patrol, when Chris pulled them over, he was expecting to just check their visas. But when Teresa got out, what she did next shocked everyone.